Right, I'm playing the latest video game with the most realistic graphics in the whole wide world. I'm playing Bookfinder Simulator 2024 slash Tidy the fucking Room. Um, no, honestly, what I'm going to be doing is, I'm getting back into the Wheel of Time. Blame Bill. He had a podcast called, right, this is going to be a thing, right? People like ugh, pronunciations on fantasy books. Like people take it really seriously, but you know what? I'm gonna do it how I do it. Yeah. So to me it's Taverin, but I've heard Tavirin and all sorts. But Veer, like, there's not enough vowels in there for it to be Veer. You know? Why would it be Veer? So yeah. So I'm looking for my copy of Eye of the World right now, as well as tidying up because my mother-in-law, the landlady-in-law, is over this weekend. And you know what? I'm going to natter to you, dear listener, about the Wheel of Time. I've listened to about the first 3 chapters on an audiobook I got on Sneaky Cheeky, because can't afford to restart my Audible subscription. You can't really afford a lot of things, which is why I'm selling my shit. Coincidentally, contact me on the Discord if you want to buy any of my stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so the first few chapters, it's really weird. It's been about a decade since I listened. Not listened. What am I about? I didn't listen to it. I read it. I picked up the Wheel of Time. I don't even know why I did. I just did one day. Must have been at a charity shop. I used to live above a bunch of charity shops. When I lived in London, I lived if you're familiar with Oakwood, which is like the next stop along the Piccadilly line from Southgate, it's like a sort of suburb which is not quite Southgate, not quite Cockfosters, not quite Enfield. Anyway, so I lived above a high street that was right by the station. I'm pretty sure one of the charity shops that was on that high street in approx, I think there must have been charity shops. There's charity shops in like every high street. British high streets are awash with charity shops and betting shops, and I definitely didn't get it from the betting shop. Anyway, this is something like 2012, 2013, maybe in 2014, because while I was reading them, A Memory of Light came out, which I think is 2014. So I picked it up years and years and years ago. It's over a decade since I've read it anyway, because at the very least it was before 2014, because A Memory of Light came out while I was reading 9 or 10. One of them. It was very weird. I was always at a charity shop. Around the time I was finishing one, I was in a position where I could pick up another. And they just happened to be there. Almost like the wheel was bending around me, and time itself I was the master of. All I'm saying is I might be a Taverin myself, never being able to just always be able to find a copy of the book. Either that, or they were just always about. And it filled up the hole in my reading that Finishing the Dark Tower left. It seems I don't read a lot of books, but I do read big series with big chunky books. That seems to be my shtick when it comes to reading. Yeah. So, anyway, that's the thing. So I've read the whole lot through, and my copies are all sorts of weird things. I've got big chunky hardback ones, and I've got the big chunky paperback ones, and they're all big and chunky because it's the Wheel of Time, and they're all big and chunky. And we're going to try and see if we can find my copy of Eye of the World today. I've got a few weird cupboards which it might be in. One is under my record player, and one is underneath all the board games and trading cards and stuff. And we're going to look in those tonight as I tidy up. Right this moment, though, I've got a blanket which is made with cloth nappy material on one side so that it's easily washed off, because we use it as either a picnic blanket or, in this case, a blanket to go under a high chair, because a small child is learning how to eat. And when they've got their baby food, we go for solid stuff, we don't go for spoon feeding. Sorry guys that do that, it just seems to be a waste of time for me. I don't know, like, they can just manage it themselves anyway, why would you not? You have to pay attention to them, but it's less of a choking hazard if you just give them something to chomp on. So she's on, like, wafers and rusk and things. Hello, Chi-Chi. So anyway, Wheel of Time. So I've been listening to that today, on and off, in between all the other stuff I'm listening to, because I listen to a shit ton of stuff during my working day. It is Thursday, by the way, working day. I may have mentioned that I've been doing this, and Bill might be having some leading questions, so I think he misses having someone to talk to about it. Yeah. Because it's his podcast's fault. I've been reading it again. Right, let's go out here. All this stuff is biodegradable, so what we do is we can, 1, 2, 3, shake that all out onto the big grass. Guys, you don't want to go out, it's cold. Still winter, my love. Right, so yeah. Right, we need a wipe there, and we need to get the cushion off here, because someone left their food overnight, and then a cat jumped on it in the middle of the night, so it made a big mess. Fun for everyone. 1. So anyway, the fuck was I about? So I've been listening to the audiobook that I've gotten, Sneaky, Cheeky, and I assume it's the one which is like the one that's on Audible. The guy who reads it, it's quite good, but everyone sounds a bit American for my liking. I always thought that, I'm only in the first few chapters, first 3 specifically, and then I get mixed up with what's what. And I can almost forgive the way that he voiced. I feel like he voiced Lou Theron and stuff, actually quite normal, or European-y sounding, but they just sounded like over dramatic fantasy people, which is fine. That's what they're meant to do. That's all good. But you get to the 2 rivers, and people talk like American farmers, and I understand that Robert Jordan considered where he lived to be the 2 rivers, which I think is in the Carolinas. It's somewhere rural America, So I get that, but my imagination was always that the 2 rivers was basically Wales. That's the impression I always got, was that it was Welsh, and so, although not full on hardy boy, where you sound almost the problem is I do let's have a go, right? So then you talk like this, and then try not to go Scouse, but you kind of go a bit hard. And I don't think they talk like that, but I don't know, it just felt Welsh to me, yeah? Kind of Welsh, sort of Shropshire, Offa's Dyke sort of area. Oh, Christ. If any of the American buds are listening, they don't know what Offa's Dyke is, do they? I don't know if it's worth giving a history lesson in the middle of me meant to be talking about Wheel of Time. And I'm standing here, and I'm not actually doing any tidying. I'm just posing in the middle of the little walkway between. It's all one room, but I think of that bit as the dining room, that bit as my little mini office, and this bit as the enormous living room. But it's all one room. The only difference is there's a bit of a bottleneck here because the travel cot's there full of baby toys. We gotta move that travel cot in a minute to look in that cupboard. Why am I posing? No one can see me. Unless you're hiding in my garden. Don't hide in my garden. Either of them. You can see me from both. Ugh. Well, I mean, if you're in my front garden, really good luck to you. It's just brambles. God, I've got to do some tidying in those. Or pay next door to do it. Oh, Cassie, you didn't tidy up your toys, you little butt. Ugh. Small children, who'd have them? Me! Right. So anyway, first of all, the first 3 chapters of the Wheel of Time, which I will eventually get to. Oh yeah, no. So as I get through it, I'm going to occasionally just give little updates like this, and they will be a bit more concise than this one. But I just thought it was the first one. I should probably give my background on me having read the Wheel of Time a long time ago, and thus. Oh, and this is going to be super spoiler heavy probably, because I won't be able to help myself. I mean, I can't remember everything, so there might be spoilers that are completely incorrect, but they're there, and I'm going to be talking about them. So yeah, so you start off and you got the prologue, and it's just such a fucking effective scene. Oh, like these kinds of fantasy authors, they can do a fucking prologue, Yeah, Robert Joy, that's really nice. It's his only real big series, so you're like, oh man. Oh, I would have genuinely, it makes you fascinated to know what, happened in the age that Lews Therin was alive in. Because it hints at all of these adventures and conflict and his battles against the Dark One, and and then his folly and the tragedy of it all. And even though you get this one little snippet, this one tiny look into the eventual madness and tragedy of Lews Therin and his family and all of his pals and all the people who lived around him and so on, and the pure sorrow that creates mountains. It's intense and amazing, and the characterization, I can't remember his name. The baddie. And I think he makes he is of course, as all things are, and it's foreshadowing to an extent as well. Good. They will fight constantly as the wheel turns. They will always fight until one day the darkness wins. But will it win? Ooh. I don't actually remember. I don't think it does. I think they win in the end. Vaguely remember that, sort of. I don't know whether or not to make jokes about it. There's bits I do remember. And I remember, oh my god, it's one of those. I like the slow ones. It invades your head, this series. And it's really powerful. The imagery is amazing. It pops into your brain, and it's a really good. It's like the world's best soap opera. But there's magic. And Trollocs, although I haven't got to any Trollocs yet. Also, I think Trollocs is very funny because it sounds a bit like Trollop. So yeah, that's super powerful prologue about the world, the breaking of the world and all that. And this needs to go somewhere else. And actually, I think I might need to loo again. So we might pause for a bit because I don't think you want to hear the sound of someone shitting. I'm so excited. Right. See you in a second. 1 minute. Right. So what was on about again? Right. So Lews Therin. That was a cool scene, right? Really powerful. Right, and then you go into, the first few chapters, really after that, they're introducing a world, and they're doing it very nicely. Sort of. because this is sort of it's a funky series, really. It spends like a while that there's an adventure, and it's like just continuously you're learning new things throughout the whole series, like all 14 books. Like you explore pretty much the entirety of this world, near enough, and learn about all these different cultures and all the ways that they're different and all the prejudices they have against each other and so on. And there's certain like elements of satire there. You can tell that Jordan had something of a sense of humor about things, which is means that there's points where like you can sort of I mean, I might as well address it now, but there's like there are points where like our key criticism is that there's a certain level of sexism, a certain level of misogyny to this series, and that there's a lot of female characters who aren't necessarily the authors of their own destiny, and are a lot of the time like there seems to be a lot of complaining about like shrewish like nature of women, and it's like, okay, maybe not, and you know, and they're often mooning after blokes and things, and I don't know. I don't really think it's that bad. I think it's just that we kind of hold it up to 2000, and I think that in many ways it's very good for its time. I don't really know what there is to really compare it to. You know, I haven't necessarily read around that much, and you know, you gotta eventually get bogged down on it, and you have to make the decision if you're bothered by it or not. And I'm not necessarily bothered by it at the moment, but if you are bothered by it, I absolutely respect that. I mean, I am gender fluid to an extent, and I don't feel like I've ever tugged my braids or smoothed my skirts. More on that later, I'm sure. So yeah, so these first things, you're introduced to this world, and you're introduced to Rand and his father Tam, who is just confident in all things, and you know, teaches Rand about the void and all that. And they're going along the road, and Rand turns around and he sees a fucking dark rider of some description who's not affected by the wind or the rain or the world around him at all. He's just there, and he just stares with hatred for all of existence. Stares with unbridled hatred. And obviously Rand is a bit spooked by this, because he turns around, he turns back, and he doesn't, and then it's not there. Fucking hell, scary as fuck. And of course Tam's like, oh, you just see it in things. Of course, you know, like, maybe take what your kids say a bit more seriously next time, Tam, me old boy. Stuff's falling down all over the place. Ooh, gigantic Nintendo posters. What? Right. Oh no, that's just full of LPs. Okay. So we know one place where it isn't. Ooh, a copy of Cyber Force #1. It's a reprint. It's not worth anything. I don't actually think Cyber Force #1 would be worth anything anyway. I think, given how Image Comics are thought of where the comic speculator boom, the bubble burst. Oh, fucking hell, Rip Claw is such a Wolverine ripoff. But that is a cool double-page spread. Mark Silvestri, really good artist. I like Silvestri. Anyway, there's Wheel of Time comics, aren't there? I should probably look at them at some point. Anyway, so there's this. You see the things. Spooky. Then they make their way into town for Beltane, which I assume is quite intentionally sounding like Beltane, which is not solstice, the equinox, isn't it? Is that equinox? You see, you got Samhain at one end, which is Samhain. Is that Halloween? Apologies for pronunciation. I don't speak Gaelic, or whatever the Irish version of Gaelic is. Sorry, guys. not my, well, if you went back like 2 generations, it would be my background. You get my drift. But, anyway, not 2 generations, more than that, like 3. I've missed out. I couldn't get an Irish passport, but my dad could, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so this is full of clothes. That needs to go over here so that it can be sorted out ahead of the landlady-in-law turning up. Easy looking for things is also tidying up, isn't it? And tidying up means that you could look for things. We will find this book because I'm fairly sure I got it back. I did lend the first 3 to one of my mates, and he just didn't have the capacity to read them. They're quite the, you always, if you start them in earnest because you don't know how many there are, They're really good though. I do recommend. Let's go back here. Let's tidy up all this shite. I'll need a bunch of it too anyway. For example, I need these scales so that I can weigh all the stuff I'm sending out to Frost and to Scott and to Bill. I'm sending stuff out. Aren't I good? Selling things. Try and make up the deficit in think, it's not going to make it all the way because I'm selling things for dirt cheap. Because I'm too awkward to ask for lots of money for things. I'd rather give nice people a bargain than fill out another fucking thing on eBay. Apart from selling the guitars, they'll have to go on eBay because people take the piss with guitars. So anyway, so they're heading into town. There's Beltane, which is Beltane, which is May Day, which is why there's a maypole. Like, it's a classic thing. It's the real world equivalent is a British/Celtic festival. All about, the big maypole that they go around with the ribbon. It's a big old dick. And so women of age picking from the men of age and all that stuff, and or will they, let's do some courting and pair people up and so on, and that's sort of like what a lot of people like to do. Two Rivers is one of these kind of communities where people pairing off is a large part of life. You pair off, you farm, you live your life. It's peaceful, it's nice, it's pastoral. People, have their little lives and their little worlds where little scandals happen, where the turning up of any strangers is a newsworthy thing for years to come, where there being fireworks at this year's Beltane will be the hugest thing for years to come, and where the visitors who are turning up will be huge news. Now we see, so Rand and his dad are bringing in some brandy, which is what Rand's dad makes. Probably amongst other things, and he probably makes subsistence food as well, but the thing that he brings to festivities is brandy and cider. Seems to be the things that they do. I think it might mostly be cider, but either way, fermented stuff. Cat toys everywhere. Child toys everywhere. Child socks everywhere. My life. Picking up after small people. And cats. It's there, unloading all these things off. Around comes upon his mate Matt, who is important. He's also one of the important people. Oh shit, I found where all my fantasy books are. There's some Witcher, there's some Alien, there's David Werber, there's Old Man Sky. Oh, Broken Sky, I need to... I fucking love Broken Sky, that's brilliant. It's like anime high fantasy. It's really good. Oh, and Dune, and some Asimov, and some Star Wars books. Right. And there's some Forgotten Realms. Here we go! Here we are! Right, do I have everything? Okay, so I've got Eye of the World. There's The Great Hunt. There's 12, 13, Shadow Rising. Do I have The Dragon Reborn here? Because that will be awkward if I don't have that. Not looking like I do. Well, I want the Eye of the World. It's the cattiest copy in the world. There's a bunch of Stephen King back there. Stephen King. Ptolemy's Gate. That's all Stephen King. Where's this book? Here's me copy. Ben must have me copy of Dragon Reborn. Right, I'll have to double check with him, see if he's got it. Still, I mean, it'll take me time. Still got to make it through Eye of the World. And then The Great Hunt, which is number 2. Oh, well, I've got some Alistair Reynolds. Oh, and there we are, Metal Gear Solid. I've got the Metal Gear Solid novelization. I wonder if a copy of the Resident Evil books are back here too. That will make sense. He says, yes, I have those books. Yeah, I'll have a look at Metal Gear Solid at some point. Oh, if I can get the time. Right, Eye of the World. There we go. What do you think, guys? I don't think this has been out properly since we've got you. I think you weren't part of our family. I don't think you were born yet. I'll put these there. Put Robo Rally back there. I wonder if Robo Rally's worth anything, because we're never going to get around to playing it again. There's a thing for recycling. There we go. Success! Oh, yay! So let's talk about the rest of what I'm doing, where I'm up to. So, Taliesin's mate Matt, and Matt's got something really important to tell him, but he doesn't get around to it, because Rand's like, hey, did you see a Black Rider? And Matt's like, fucking yeah. Oh yeah, I saw a Black Rider. Yeah, I did. I saw a Black Rider, I did. No one believed me though, because no one believes old Matt. No one believes old Matt, because Matt is always being a little shithead. Obviously he doesn't talk like that. I don't think there are Geordies in the Wheel of Time. Although it would be very funny if the Texas Samurais were Geordie. I'm sure we'll get to the Texas Samurai eventually. It's ages till they turn up. See, don't you want to fucking read it? Don't you want to fucking get on board with a 14-book series where every single volume is a murder weapon waiting to happen? I bet you are. Fuck yeah, found it. Right. Let's just quickly send Bill a fucking photo. Ha ha ha. But yeah. Oh, my tatty has held a copy of Eye of the World. Brilliant. So yeah, Matt's like, I saw this too. And then like another little kid turns up. Oh, is that before or after? Okay, so there's a bit. I don't remember the full significance because it's been a long time since I read it. But Matt has a massive destiny ahead of him, as does Rand. And Rand sees a raven that's just watching them really intently. And he's like, fucking, what a dickhead ravens. You know, dickhead carry on, eat the ravens. They eat rotten stuff. And I can't remember if that means that they serve the Dark One or not. That feels like the type of thing that would happen. Oh yeah, there's a dark one. Yeah. There's a dark one. There's the dark power in the universe. Doesn't like creation. Wants to destroy everything. Yes, there is, Noodle. Yes, there is. And Rand's looking at this Raven, and this Raven's looking at him, and the Raven's looking at Matt, and Matt goes, "Oi, fuck off, Raven." And the Raven does what he says. And I think that's significant because Matt is associated with ravens later on in the series when he does badass things and is generally a massive badass like he has. When I first read the books, Matt wound me up no end. Like I got his shtick, you know, he's a naughty kid. But he doesn't actually mean much by it. He just wants there to be fun in the world. He's a fun trickster. He's Loki, you know. But and he does something very silly. Partway through, is it partway through this book? No, yeah, it's partway through this book that he does a silly thing. Partway through the next book where they try to sort it. I'm trying not to spoil too much, but I will make dumb references to stuff because this series is full of foreshadowing and there's shit which doesn't pay off until like the very fucking end, which is at the very fucking start. It's mad. Like, yeah. I'm currently picking up boxes that stack together and collapse together and stuff. Because small people have toys. And this is one of them. She's filled it with fucking coins. Of course she has. Bloody hell. And I think we're missing some. Of these boxes. She's put them somewhere silly. Ah, dear. Oh well. Right. We'll work with it. Right. Little pain in the dick. Put these coins back in the thing she keeps them in. It's like a little flower thing. Some of them are old coins. I think that's from the Victorian era, isn't it? I don't know. Where's that from? Whoever's on it has a fez on it. It's a heavy coin as well. Might actually have real metal in it. As opposed to pixie dust, I don't fucking know. Yeah, we're missing some of those boxes. I told her to tidy them up. But did she listen? No, she didn't listen. Right. Okay. There's a bunny. I'll put these in there. We've got big crates where they keep things that they're not going to put away properly. So we'll put it in there. That's fine. Yeah. So anyway, yes, so Matt tells this Raven to fuck off, and it does. I don't know if it's at that point or slightly before, where there's this little kid comes and he's like, "Oh, mate, there was a fancy lady." And I'm like, "Oh, fancy lady. Ooh." And then Matt was like, "Yeah, no, that's what I was going to talk to you about before you talked about the thing." I'm like, "Oh, right." And then the fancy lady comes up, and she's got a bodyguard who blends in with the background and looks mean, a face like granite. But her face is ageless and timeless and all-knowing. And this is Moraine. I don't know if that's how they said it in the thing, but I call her Moraine. I bet, actually, in Americans, there's probably a Moraine, but it's Moraine. Yeah? There's references, right? This and another character are both like two different interpretations of Merlin. Because the Arthurian cycle is very, very, very influential on this series. So yeah, anyway, right? So, what the fuck was I doing? Yeah. So Moraine turns up and she's like, "Oh, very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you indeed," she says to Matt and Rand and this other little kid, to a point, gives them all coins. And for special coins, because they actually look like they're worth something. They actually have silver in them. Very, very important in this sort of backwards area. It's worth a lot of money. And she's just giving it away freely. And there must be some meaning to that. And there is a meaning to that. But it'll come up later. I don't know if you can hear the stage whisper. So yeah, and so she gives them the coins and says, if I have need of you while I'm here in the Two Rivers, I hope that you will come help me and you may get more, and so on. It's very good. Very quest giver, My phone just buzzed. Let's have a look. See what we got here. Oh, it's Discord. It's probably Bill reacting to the fact I actually found my copy of Eye of the World. Oh, dearie me. But yeah, what was I going to fucking say? Yeah, so Moraine, and then lands there, and lands like grumpy, and then walks off. And then I think at that point, throughout all of this, they're mentioning that fireworks are happening. And that's exciting. And that there is a gleeman, which is a part court jester, part balladeer, part general performer, part bard. And it is a sort of aspect, I don't know if he's actually named at the point where I have read up to. I kind of got to the very start of chapter 4, and he's just run out, and he's just talking to people now. But we might as well introduce him now, because he's also another interpretation of Merlin. Very specifically, his name's Tom Merrilin. Is it Tom? His name's Merrilin. I should have probably waited till I read his name in the book. Because I can actually read it now, because I found the fucking book, didn't I? Brilliant. And, anyway. What was I doing? Are we still recording? A bit worried we're not still recording. I bet we are. I hope we are. We are still recording. Brilliant! Okay. Right. Are we still using the Bluetooth device? Because that looks very quiet there. Are we still on Bluetooth? We are still on Bluetooth. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. God, I've been going on for nearly 40 minutes, just me chatting at you about any old bollocks, as well as the Wheel of Time, which we should talk about. Wheel of Time. So yeah, Tom Merrilin is also there. And also a peddler, who I can't remember the name of, but he's actually important too. He's I won't tell you yet why he's important, but he's important, and he's there, and he's telling them, he's coming, he's unloading his things, and the town council are there. The town council have already been introduced. There's already been conversations with them. There's one who's literally he's the innkeeper, and he's trying to get his daughter around to really hook up and bump uglies and marry and all that stuff. That sort of thing, that sort of town. And Rand's dad is also in the council and all that stuff, because Rand's dad is a secret badass. But I haven't got to that yet. I haven't got to that yet. We're still in nice countryside things. Yeah. So yeah, the peddler's there, and he's unloading his wares, and he's talking to people, and he's giving them news of the outside world, because of course, traveling merchants travel, and they learn things from outside, and genuinely, in these kind of early modern, late medieval to early modern societies, traveling merchants are how news spread. Genuinely, real life shit. And, yes, the fucking words. And yeah, and he's bringing all sorts of news. Mostly that the world is shite. Because it is genuinely, it's the thing that's been going on with the Two Rivers as well. Winter's not finished. Winter's meant to be finished. Meant to be a month into spring, so you're May time. Because Beltane, you see. And but winter's not finished. And wolves are abroad. People are seeing bears and things. It's scary times all round. And the peddler's like, oh, you think you've got it bad, mate? There's wars happening. There's wars happening. Someone's claiming to be the dragon reborn. Nattering was the dragon, by the way. And of course, at some point, the dragon is going to be reborn. And it's like, yeah. And this guy, like, he's not only claiming to be the dragon reborn, but he's got the power. He's doing the magic. It was like, oh no, he's going to go mad. Oh, he's going to blow shit up. Oh no. Loads of people are going to die in service or against the dragon reborn. Not good. Should probably continue tidying while we talk about this. I was like, oh no. It's really serious shit. And the town council are like, right, this is serious shit. Everyone's getting wound up. Let's fucking take this inside. And so they do. They take him away, and he's like, okay, cool, gonna get some free food out of this, no worries. So, at which point, Perrin turns up. And Perrin is also Rand and Matt's friend. He works as a blacksmith's apprentice. He's a really nice chap. He's very big. He's very big, and he sees things very clearly, and he observes stuff. And he's nowhere near as... And people sort of assume, because he's a bit big, and a bit slow to action sometimes, they must be stupid. But he isn't. He's ludicrously intelligent. All of this, very important, because he is also an important character. He says, oh yeah, no, I saw the Black Rider too. Fucking scary, mate. And, yeah, and then they're there. And then, out of nowhere, fucking... Oh, shit. I don't remember how the audiobook said it. I call it the Knave, right? I think the audiobook calls it the Neve, which makes sense. I knew people called Neve. That makes sense because a lot of these names have their roots in Old English and Irish names and Welsh names too. Oh, I was going to say about Tom Merrilin. He's Taliesin. I should probably have mentioned that more when he turns up. Anyway, so yeah, the Knave's there, and the Knave is the village wisdom. And the village wisdom listens to the wind and knows what's coming and knows about the weather and how to cure people and give advice. And if this sounds a lot like someone who uses magic, maybe that might come up a bit later. A bit spoilery, isn't it? But you know. But I did say there might be spoilers. It's not a big spoiler though. Literally comes up in like a few chapters time. And Egwene. Guinevere. See what they're doing? Anyway, yeah, she's there. She's the innkeeper's daughter, who is basically betrothed to Rand. And she's like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be a village wisdom to another village. Rand's like, really? Oh no. What? You fancy me? No. Yeah, you do. You know, ongoing daft stuff that makes you go like, fuck's sake, teenagers, stop being teenagers for 5 minutes. Egwene? Whatever her name is. Eggy is appears to be Rand's immediate love interest. And they just, it's that sort of thing where they grew up together, they like each other well enough within the life of that kind of small village. Yeah, of course, it's a shoo-in. They're going to get together. They're going to have to. Someone's going to have babies. Might as well be them. But not so. Eggy is like, yeah, no, you gotta make your mind up, mate. Because I'm not going to wait around forever, and I might want to try going somewhere else and doing different things and trying to be my own person. Which is where I'm like, that's some pretty good character work, isn't it? I mean, there's other things about her. she's super important anyway. She's like one of the most important characters in the whole fucking series. Like, second pretty much to Rand in terms of importance. So yeah. And yeah, and all that goes on, and obviously it's like they overhear Eggy Weggy, she hears Matt and Perrin and Rand talking about the Black Rider. And she's like, oh, you fucking kids. And the knaves already haven't had a go at them for being immature and egging on the on the younger kids in the community and all that. You know. I get it, you know. Doesn't seem good, does it? So yeah. So yeah, she's I think that's about where I got up to at that point. I'm pretty sure is when Tom Maryland comes out. And I might as well say now. I've already sort of basically said it, but I can say it all in one go now. This man is a sort of more... So if Moraine is like a late medieval French author's opinion of Merlin, where it's the sort of... what's the word? The Hollywood Merlin, you know? The Merlin of the Sword and the Stone. Yeah? You know, Moraine is that. Moraine is, you know, distant wizard, but knows everything and is fundamentally kind in a very Gandalf-y sort of way. But yeah, Moraine is Gandalf turning ogres to stone. Trolls to stone? I don't know what they're called. Who fucking cares? Tom Maryland is Gandalf having fun in the pub. Tom Maryland is Gandalf who is based on Taliesin, who is a Welsh poet / bard / magician. And that's where I got up to, so now I'm going to give you, while I pick up these bits and pieces, but before I do the hoovering, which would be unlistenable, I'm going to talk to you about Taliesin. I haven't listened to much. I've listened to 2.5 episodes of Taverin. That podcast, what Bill was on a while ago. I listened to a few episodes of that, which got me like re-hooked. So I don't know if they go into this. I don't know how much they go into the background on what Jordan is going for. And admittedly, I've not read... There are books and books and books about Robert Jordan's like influences and what's what and so on, and there's extensive Wikipedia articles. But this is my interpretation, is that Tom Maryland is based on Taliesin. Taliesin is one of the bases. He's a basis. Not bassist, boom, 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 boom. Basis as in something what Merlin is based on. As in, because our interpretation of King Arthur and so on is based on old stories, but more Le Mort de King Arthur, you know, that sort of stuff with the Grail and so on, the Idylls of King Arthur. All of our like interpretations of the Arthurian cycle come later, but older stories that we get our ideas of what wizards do and all that stuff that comes from stories like those of Taliesin, Mass and Gwydion, famously, what's his fucking face? Finn, the Welsh warrior, wizard, hero, king. He ate the salmon of knowledge. It's linked in with Taliesin, because Taliesin also has a potion of knowledge involved, where he is originally a small child called Gwion, who is in the service of a witch called Ceridwen. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of this correctly. I'm kind of doing it how it feels right to me. Really what I should do is I should look at how they're spelt and remember my Welsh pronunciations and how different words work, but I'm not gonna. Yeah? Because my Welsh is shite. Seriously. I can't hold my own in a conversation. I can vaguely read some Welsh, but terrible at Welsh. Really bad at it. Better than I am at German these days, though. But, you know. And better than I am at Japanese. Those are the three languages I've been particularly interested in learning. And I've done shite at all of them. Anyway, so Taliesin. And so he's his child Gwion. And he's in service to Ceridwen, who has a son. And her son is ugly. And her son is stupid. And her son is cruel. His name is Avigdu. Again, pronunciations probably all wrong. So take that with a grain of salt. So she's like, I'm going to make this potion. It's going to make him universally wise, universally intelligent. It's going to make him magic as fuck. And so she's like, right, Gwion, me lad, me boy, you stir this fucking thing. Do not drink it, for only the first drop will make you super smart, super intelligent, all the rest. Any more, the other drops, they'll just kill you. So you can't have any. He's like, okay. And then he accidentally burns himself on it. And he puts his finger in his mouth. Oh no! He's had some of the potion. The one drop. The drop that makes you super intelligent, super smart, super wise, super magical. I'm doing big arms. Like anyone can see me. You can't. You just have to assume. So yeah, so he does this. And then Avigdu's like, oh, fuck! Especially since her son dies. Bad. Oh, fuck that fucking kid, Gwydion. Not Gwydion, Gwion. Gwydion's someone else. Who's Gwydion? Gwydion's that mates with Math, isn't he? Yeah, they're completely different Welsh wizards. Wales has lots of wizard bards. Fun fact. Mabinogi is full of them. Although the Mabinogian is sort of a bit tenuous on which bits are traditional, which bits aren't. There are old Welsh versions. They are at the thingy National Library. I can't remember where that's at. Is it in Cardiff? It would make sense if it was in Cardiff, but loads of like things like that are in weird places. Like I'm sure one of them's in Lampeter. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Talking about Taliesin. So yeah. So Ceridwen is like, fuck, gonna get you, mate. And Gwyn's like, shit, I'll transform into something. I can't remember the order. It's a classic trope of old UK mythology. Is you transform into one thing, they transform into something that'll get you. You transform into something that'll get away from that, they transform into something that'll get you more, right? So they transform into like a sparrow, a sparrowhawk, squirrel, a cat, that sort of thing, right? And I can't remember the order. I remember the last one though, is that finally Grion's like, oh shit, I can't run away from her. She thinks of something new to transform into every time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform, do a bit of corn, I'll hide in this corn. Ceridwen's like, I'll turn into a chicken, I'll eat that corn. Chicken eats the corn. And Ceridwen's like, brilliant, that's my situation, that's my thing sorted out. Killed that bugger. Now, let's just get on with things. But she's pregnant. She's like, oh no, I ate him, and somehow that magically made me pregnant with a baby, with a very shiny head. Which is what Taliesin means. It means like a white shining head. Which is why I think it's related to Tom Merrilin. Because he's got a white shining head. I know. But also the bard thing. Because Taliesin So he's born, and he's chucked away. Everyone's like, don't want this baby. This baby's a right bastard. Drown him. But then he's recovered by, I can't remember the name of the king. But it was one of the various kings/princes of Wales. So the only reason Wales is a principality is it had lots of princes of different mini kingdoms. In that way, that old Celtic tribes used to be. But it just went on a bit longer, so they actually became like proper kingdoms. Which is why now Wales is a principality. Never had a king of it all. And, yeah. One of the first proper colonies, isn't it? Vote Plaid Cymru. Anyway, so... I can't remember if Plaid Cymru are currently any good or not. They used to be like about Labour-y sort of area. So anyway, so yes. So I think Taliesin, who is important to shamanic tradition, bardic tradition, and also was like a magic person who was a basis for a lot of the stories about King Arthur and Merlin. I think he might have been a major influence on the character of Tom Merlin. And that's where I'm up to in the Wheel of Time. Thank you for listening. Apologies if it's so massively scatterbrained. But I figured, it's worth doing it. Just chatting about it as I go along. Helps me think about it. And there's stuff as well. Not as much stuff in these first few chapters as there will be later on. Because when I was reading it, I timed it so that I always had one to read. Absolutely consumed me. It's so powerful imagery in my head. I see it in my head perfectly. Which might be why it'd be a bad idea if I actually watched the Amazon show, because it wouldn't look like it looks in my head. Because I can't do it quick. I actually absorb it, and it's so powerful. Really good books. Recommend. But yeah. But even when I was reading them at the time, I'm like, this is coming up. This was from back then. And that was like major plot points. And now I'm seeing imagery that's associated with characters and like understanding to an extent, although I don't necessarily remember it all, which is good because it means I might be surprised a bit later. But it's genuinely making me excited. It's exciting me about this. It's nice to be excited about books, even if you've already read them hundreds of times, but I'm not going to. Well, it's either going to be that or Broken Sky, and I don't see myself reading Broken Sky again. Maybe, if I want to make it through the Wheel of Time this time, maybe I'll start on Broken Sky again, because that's really good. That's like ludicrously good, and it's a much easier read because it's intended for actual children. That is like sort of Wheel of Timey, Game of Thronesy sort of fantasy through an anime lens, but not like what would nowadays be an anime lens. So not like a Brandon Sanderson's anime lens, because Brandon Sanderson I found a bit hit and miss. I love his work on the Wheel of Time. And I loved the first Mistborn trilogy. Then I tried The Way of Kings on a Kindle. It didn't grip me. Then I tried an audiobook of The Way of Kings. It didn't grip me. And I tried a hard copy of The Wheel of Kings. Not Wheel of Kings, but Way of Kings. It didn't grip me. An amazing prologue on that. And I get a little bit further each time, but it just... I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't grip me. Way Wheel of Time does, way Broken Sky does, way Dark Tower does, way Mistborn did. Should probably read the other Mistborn books. I want to try some other Sanderson stuff. Or maybe it is just Stormlight Archive isn't my jam. But then again, that's like his Lynchpin series, I'm led to believe. But, like, stuff's super complicated. Which also is a bit like a... It was a bit cute when Stephen King did it, but I don't know, mate. Um, don't know. I've got a bunch of. I've got some Lego. I'm gonna put it up here out of the way because my daughter keeps asking me to make it. I can't be bothered. I know, terrible. I should make it once properly, and then take it all apart so we can make it into other things. I feel like that's what you do with Lego. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is such a cluster. Right. Anyway, thank you for listening to me natter on. I should probably get back on with doing things, and what I'm going to do is, I don't know, I might listen to The Wheel of Time, or I might listen to Bill and the two Americans talk about Wheel of Time, because I'm in that kind of mood. So, yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you for putting up with me. We found the book we were looking for, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm quite happy. Right, laters. Bye.